And I'll say this about too, like cause now I'm looking at the results now. Vikingo versus Black Taurus. Like people can like complain all they want about like there's no story and these guys just do all these flippy do moves and all that stuff, but you gotta respect the effort that these two dudes put in. This match was fucking so much fun to watch.
It
Like
really wasn't. It really wasn't, dude. There
you
was a
didn't like
whole
it? I loved it.
no.
I like.
Black Taurus hits hard. He does good moves, and that's about it. Like every time I see him standing around, I'm like, no, 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 no. Vikingo is not good. Look, and you're an Impact guy, so I'm sure that you can vouch for Black Taurus wrestling all these other guys, like being a fucking star. And it looks like he is. But this shit with Vikingo, man, like it was rough for me, man. It was
I
rough.
I agree with you, and HK. I agree with like I saw you like rubbing your eyes and kind of almost like shaking your head and shit, which is fine. And 9 times out of 10, I will agree with you. Like we say on this show all the time, tell me a story, tell me a story, tell me a story. Now I don't watch Ring of Honor regularly, so I don't know what the build to this match was, but like part of me like respects what Vikingo did. Like there was a spot where like he had to jump on the ropes and he had to jump back off like twice. And so like Black Taurus was like still kind of standing there. And so I get that that looks awkward, but like if I think they did a good enough job, like Taurus was still kind of like shaking off the cobwebs, where Vikingo was able to switch it up and then hit the move that he wanted to hit. And that like that 650 or whatever the fucking degree like circle that is that he hit on the outside landed perfectly on Black Taurus's back. Like shit like that like is impressive, and it might not be the most ideal traditional wrestling fan perspective, but I walked away after that match like kind of like, all right, there's a place for this in wrestling. Like it might not be my cup of tea, but it was pretty dope. So that's just one man's opinion, HK.
Yeah, no, and that's. I mean, obviously that's fine. You can like whatever you want to like. I didn't see the card. Right, I've been buried in shit,
Right.
but I did see the Vikingo go for it. Nope, can't go for it. Go for it. Nope, can't go for it. Spot. It looks like trash, man. I think that you can absolutely appreciate the ability that they have to do these things. Rein it in a little bit.
But
Rein it in a little bit,
I
and then
I see. I'm sorry. I question that though because every time I see Vikingo and he's climbing on the ropes, he's unsure of his footing. He's teeter tottering. Like he just always seems uncomfortable, and he has to wait until he's absolutely ready to do this shit, and it makes it look fucking bad.
There was
It,
more bad. There was more good than bad out of him on this match. And the one thing that I will say this, Tony, and which I will have your back on, there was he did like a drop kick off the top rope, but he decided no, I'm not gonna do the drop kick off the turnbuckle like a normal professional wrestler. I'm gonna do it off the post, which makes no sense because it's like what 2 inches further back, and it's gonna have little to no effect on the velocity of the move. Like, why do you need to do a drop kick off the post as opposed to the top turnbuckle pad? Like that part was like, all right, that now you're reaching, bro.
yeah, see
But
that makes no sense to me. It's like a basketball player that's tall enough to dunk it without jumping, but jumps anyways.
right,
Makes no fucking sense.
at least at that point you're avoiding a defender and you're trying to maybe possibly like get an even higher advantage. Whereas Taurus was on the mat and Vikingo was up in no man's land. Like I'm like, why did you need to put the extra effort to like step onto the post to do the drop kick? Like that's not even like that. That's not an impressive thing.
yeah,
When was
you
the?
go ahead.
Oh, no, I was gonna say, when was the last time you sat down and watched some like? Because in my mind, the kind of the golden age of this style is the WCW cruiserweight division,
I would
right?
agree with that.
The 95 to 98 cruiserweights.
If you weren't already averse to like or caught up on like Mexican actual wrestling in
Yeah, of
Mexico,
course, yeah,
if
and
you
you can
weren't
watch
there,
AAA. I mean, they
yeah,
got the channel on Pluto, whatever it is. A lot of a lot of fun stuff to watch. But when you go back and watch those matches, it feels like you are not seeing a lot of waiting for guys to get to the spot for them to catch them. It seems to flow so much
yeah,
better. And now it's like they're trying to do that style implement much more risk, and with that, it's disconnected.
Hmm.
So, do you take what they're doing now, the multiple revolutions and their spins and the rope walks to flips and all that kind of stuff? Sure, it's great that they can do it, but the match flow is completely fucked when
Yeah.
you watch that, like those 95 to 98, 99 like cruiserweight division that, again, I would think is the golden age of the style. Why aren't you bringing it back in and letting your match flow? A match flowing is much more impressive to me than a guy jumping up, letting another guy wait to catch him. Then that happens, popping up, doing it again. Like, it's just, there's such a gap in the style right now. Such a gap.
Yeah, and Tony, that to me that blame can be shared by a lot of different people. It could be shared by obviously Tony Khan, not you, Tony. You're a gem. Um, it could be, excuse me. Whoa.
Oh, geez, what was that?
Oh, that was a lot of Flemsky McGemsky. Um, it could be shared by Tony. It could be shared by the workers. It could be shared by whoever's like there to produce the match. It's just another example of like Tony not. And he's got good people that works for him though. So this is what's so like befuddling about it. It's like you're right, Kevin, 100% that this match almost appeared like it was in segments as opposed to just a continuous one thing. It was like, all right, pause. Let's do the next spot. Next, do the next crazy high spot. Pause again. Do the next crazy high spot. It was like, but so I'm kind of like hypocritical on this, I guess. I'm seeing it through both lenses. It was, and we're spending a lot of time on this match, by the way, but I think for good reason. I think Tony likes it. I think it's basically what made El Vikingo famous enough to be on American national television. And Black Taurus is just a big body that he could dive onto. So to me, I guess that sums it up in three parts.